As I've worked with public defenders my entire career, and I would agree that the quality of legal education in Muskegon County is very good. There are some very seasoned lawyers that are working in the public defender system. I can't speak for them as to how much time they spend with clients. That's their responsibility. I can tell you that through my years working both in district and circuit court, I've always been a person of equal opportunity and fairness. If a public defender came to me and said, hey, listen, I need some more time to prepare for trial, I have no problem with that. I'll sign the stip order to adjourn that case every time. I have absolutely no problem with that. I agree that the court system, the justice system is a system that should be fair for all. I disagree a little bit on when we start talking about dollars. Circuit court public defenders make more than I do. And so for people to say that the prosecutors make more is crazy. I know, they make more than I do. And I agree with Mr. Kostrava. They have the ability to go out and get retained clients.
I'm not a full-time public defender, but I am on the conflict list, and it has been an eye-opening experience now to be on the other side, to see what it's like to be a public defender, to have time to meet with my clients. I go and meet them in the jail. I represent them in court. It's very taxing, and we can go get retained clients, and that's great, but not when you have to also do that. I luckily am not on a full-time contract, so I don't have to worry about it. The public defender system has some great attorneys, but it's overtaxed. I think we went this step far enough as to try to offer offices in the county building so the public defenders don't have to keep running in and out. But I think that there is a system that can be adopted that makes it fair for the attorneys, that if they want to dedicate themselves to public service, just like a prosecutor does, that they can do it as a public defender. And that system needs to be explored. And until we do that, we're going to have the same issues that are being seen, where private attorneys are out running around trying to get our retained clients and also trying to do what's right and try to do their civic duty. And until we try to alleviate and balance that, because I've seen it now, until we alleviate and balance that, I don't think people are going to feel that they're getting fair representation.
Thank you. Mr. Nash, would you like to weigh in on that question?
Sure. When we look at our public defender system, I'm just going to be frank with you, it's broken. That system has not been working correct or well for the people that it's supposed to be defending for a number of years. When the attorneys say that they're underfunded, I somewhat disagree with that. I know it keeps them busy and there's a lot of things going on, but when you look at it, they don't have to put in for the bid for those contracts. So that is something that they desire to do. If you desire to do something, you fulfill the obligation. There's also some things that we can do as county commissioners, and that is that we can start working it with the courts to make sure that we put more stipulations and more things in the processes to make sure that accountability is there. And that's something that we need to do as a county, period, is continue to be more accountable in the things that we do. We do a lot of policies, and we send out a lot of funding that goes out to the community or goes out to different contractors that we need to make sure is defined.
Mr. Sloan?
I don't have a lot to add to this. I know it's a problem, and unless you think we don't know it's a problem, we do. We recently had, I believe, all of the public defenders come to a county commission meeting and plead for help with this, more funding, because it's true they can take outside clients, but they don't have time to take outside clients. So I know that right now the county administrator is looking at that and working on that, and they're working on the next year's budget right now, and I'm hoping there'll be some relief for the public defenders. Public defender, I believe, most of them get about $45,000 a year, and essentially that's a full-time job, and that's not $45,000 in salary with fringes. That's everything. It's not a lot of money to do that, and they're dealing with tough clients in many cases that need some help.
Thank you. Yeah, public defenders did come to see us. My wife worked for a law firm. The attorneys in there is a public defender, so I know what they're going through. I said at our meeting, it's not here at the county level. It's at the state. They keep cutting our funding, so we can't pay public defenders more, anybody anymore. So it's at the state level, It's with our legislators and our governor. We need to do something there to help us all in all of our offices here in the county, to help all the citizens of this county. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, I agree with Commissioner Skolnick and Commissioner Plummer, but to me, there's a domino effect here. Because when the people go before the judges and they have a public defender, they don't understand what's going on behind the scenes. All they know is, I don't want to go to jail. So when you have someone who's being represented, and I think the operative word here is defend, when they go before a public defender, they 9 times out of 10, I hope I don't go to jail. So if they go to jail for something that they may consider maybe a traffic violation or something like that, and they're languishing down in the county jail 30, 60, 90 days, and those type of cases are being, are going in those instances when people are going to jail, then the jail starts to overcrowd, and it overcrowds. And now we have a problem with constant overcrowding. So, you know, I don't understand. I respect the work that somebody that's a public defender do, but it's like if you're a firefighter and you complain about, thank you.
Two things, a couple things. Number one, under the current county budget, the prosecutor's office is given more than twice as much money as the public defender's office. And as Annette Smedley mentioned, the prosecutor's office has the full cooperation and support of the sheriff's department and of every police department in the county to aid investigations. The public defenders have to spend that $45,000 to cover investigations until and unless they can get it reimbursed. At the same time, I think the question is misdirected. The judges aren't the ones who set up the system. They aren't the ones with the power. There are not some things that the county commission can do. It is the job of the county commission to set up this system, and we can't fix it. It needs to be thrown out. It needs to be replaced. One of the standards that we are not following, public defenders should not be assigned by judges. It needs to be an independent office, like the prosecutor's office, with assignments by a supervisor, not by a judge.
Elder Brady, I'm sorry. But the question is a question, and we felt that that question directed to our 14th Circuit Court judges, our prosecutors, and also our commissioners, play an intricate part in what goes on for many people in this community, for all people in this community. And constituents want to know how our judges feel, how will they work with other entities, especially the Muskegon County Commission. I think each and every, my personal thought, each and every individual that is elected owes that to their constituency. And we have to ask those questions. Perhaps they may be misdirected in your view. But
I don't disagree with
these entities do work together.
I don't disagree
and
with you asking the question,
and
but I
this
believe...
time we will bring Mr. Darnell, and he will give you a question. Thank you so much.
Good morning.
Morning.
Mr. Saber started out with the judges and the prosecutors. We should get a round table into the county commissioners, but mine is more individual blanket questions. And so I'm going to start first with the county commissioners. Individually, as you would introduce this round table of questions. And they're very simple, because I've heard quite a few things about what you're doing, some of the things what you want to do. I think the citizens out here want to know how you're going to do it. Talk up. Can you hear me? No. Can you hear me? No. Everybody sounds low. Huh? Say again? Speaking. I'm speaking into it. Okay. But anyway, the question to the county commissioners is, there's some that's been re-elected and some that's been elected. And my question is, what is one of the things that the county commissioners plan to do if they're elected or re-elected prepare for a better quality of life for the constituencies in their district, and how are they going to do it? Thank you.
I'm not sure how to go with that question beyond what I have already introduced. I think the issues in our justice system are the number one issue, and we have a legal responsibility and ethical responsibility to make those changes. Beyond the justice system, I would support several of my counterparts in saying that we need to work further economically in revitalizing or in encouraging to the maximum extent that the county commission has power, revitalization of our lake shore to continue to make this an attractive community.
Next.
I think that if we could, as Commissioner Skolnick pointed out, promote entrepreneurship, because when somebody is constantly dependent on going to work for somebody else, they don't tend to want to give back to their community. If they're working in their community and they're working and starting their own business like I have, they'll tend to want to give back to their community more so and be a part of that. There's not a lot that can be said other than what's already been said, and that's the term of the economics and our justice system. If those two improve, we'll see a boom in our community. We'll see more people coming to live, work, and play in the Muskegon County area.